Hello everyone. This is Tobi from the Phuket Meditation Center, and you're listening to the Dharana Meditation Podcast. Let's sit together, calm the busy mind, and explore topics concerning character development, meditative training, and deeper self-knowledge. Let's start by sitting upright. Suspend the head from above. Think of your skeleton as being pulled up by the crown very gently. And you allow the flesh of the body to melt off the bones, following the pull of gravity. Softening, relaxing within the shape. Remember that softening or relaxing here doesn't mean to collapse, to give up your posture. Allow your breath to slowly sink down into the belly, breathing deeply, breathing comfortably, allowing everything to slow down. Receiving yourself with kindness, with warmth, with compassion. You want to wish yourself to be happy and at ease. Wish yourself to be free from stress and suffering. Having this sincere, genuine sense of caring for yourself. Gently smile a bit with your lips, your eyes. Like this, we always want to spend some time in the beginning of the session to let everything settle down. And once you have left your ordinary everyday mind and body, then you want to move on to the first stage of the practice, properly settling the body. Breathing in, feeling your legs. Breathing out, softening, releasing your legs. On the in-breath, filling the legs with consciousness. On the out-breath, opening, releasing, softening. Notice that every time when you release the tension just a little bit, it feels nice. When it feels nice, take some time to appreciate that, to enjoy that. This is really important. Noticing every little step in the right direction. Releasing stress and tension. The result is a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable, and that's good. Spend some time to enjoy. And breathing in, feeling your belly. Breathing out, softening, releasing your belly. And breathing in, feeling your heart, your chest. As you breathe out, softening, releasing, opening the heart and the chest. And every time notice how nice it is to let go of unnecessary tension. And whether that's tension in the flesh, in the muscles, or tension that is kind of a nervous or energetic tension, emotional tension, or tension that exists just on the level of the mind, an attitude of forcing, trying, being uptight about the practice. It doesn't matter which one of those types of tension you release, it will always feel a little better. And breathing in, feeling your shoulders and your arms. Breathing out, softening, releasing shoulders and arms. And breathing in, feeling your head, and softening your head as you breathe out. Notice little spots like your eyes, your forehead, the jaws, the neck. There's a bit of sneaky tension in those places for most of us. Let your consciousness spread out into your whole body, filling every cell, every corner of your body. Breathing in, feeling the body, and breathing out, softening, releasing the body. Try to keep your consciousness as expanded as you can. That means feeling the entire body, not just zooming into little parts, but feeling all of it. Just the general sense of bodiness. There's a feeling that tells you, yes, I do have a body. It's that feeling. You can even feel as if your whole body is made out of breath. And everything becoming a bit less dense each time when you breathe out. And again, really noticing each time you let go, it feels a bit better. A bit more comfortable, a bit more open, a bit less restricted. And that's nice. It is really important that you learn to enjoy these little moments. Because that joy is what will take you deeper. As long as you're feeding it. You can also breathe into or through, around areas that are specifically painful. Feel as they open up while you're breathing into them. Becoming a bit more soft, a bit more open as you breathe out. Sometimes you may not be able to breathe into the area, but you may still be able to breathe around it or through it. Whatever you're feeling, think of it as being made out of breath. Every sensation is essentially breath energy. As you play like this with your sensations, your breath energy, find yourself coming deeper into the present moment, gradually leaving behind every thought about the past or the future. Finding a bit of joy, a bit of comfort each time you let go. And whenever you are aware of other things than your body, such as sounds around you, smell, or the apparition of light, that's all okay, because it's still in the present moment. Even if you were to know that a thought arises and passes, you're still present. You're still aware of what is happening while it is happening. And keep finding those little moments of comfort, of joy. Each time you let go, not holding, not being uptight in your mind. Surrendering more and more into this moment. You can come into this moment by listening to the sounds, or by feeling your body, or by observing as your thoughts arise and pass. All that is fine. And in your own time, if you like, you can slowly return and open your eyes, perhaps Stretch your body a little bit if you want. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you. I've received a question from one of our friends, from Margarita. And so she asks, I'm writing to you to get some advice on meditation practice. I've been meditating mostly every day. However, I have decreased the amount of time that I meditate. Lately, I've only been meditating for around 20 minutes, and the maximum I've been able to do has been 30 minutes. After this time, I suddenly, quote, wake up from the meditation and feel ready to move. Do you have any advice on how to increase the meditation time? Okay. So it's fairly common that when you practice your meditation, you will find that at some point you're kind of thrown out of your practice, kicked out of your practice, naturally comes to an end, becomes increasingly more difficult to direct your focus and to keep it on the meditation subject. So first of all, this is perfectly normal. There's no need for any concern. Knowing that should already help. Knowing that, right now I'm experiencing this normal phenomenon that all meditators experience, which is this, being kicked out. Okay? Now the real thing is, and another point before we go into that, is it's already great to sit down regularly and to do at least a little bit every day. Just keep reminding yourself to keep that little spark or that little flame alive. That's already great. So Margarita is already practicing most of the time for 20 minutes every day. So let's say 20 to 30 minutes. That's already pretty good. In order to extend it, I would, first of all, detach the idea that you need to be feeling a certain way when you do your meditation practice from the practice. So you're not doing it because you're feeling a certain way. You're not chasing certain feelings and sensations in your meditation practice, like chasing a type of high maybe. And if you're not experiencing that high, then you become disheartened and tend to give up. Again, that's a very common thing. A lot of people think that they're supposed to feel great when they meditate. And that is true on one side, and it is false on the other. It is true because if you're unable to make yourself feel great, you won't stay there for longer. The primary cause for extending our practice is because it really does feel great. If it feels wonderful when you sit there, there's really no reason why you want to leave your practice. In fact, the better it feels, the less likely you are to leave your practice. But I've also said it's false because what I'm referring to is this expectation that it should be feeling a certain way, and then you're kind of just stumbling around, hoping and waiting for those nice feelings to happen. They won't. It's like a lot of people sit down, they do their techniques the way they have learned them. And they don't notice that a crucial factor is how you do that technique. It's not really about doing the technique and just doing it. It's about how you do it. That matters a lot. So if you're sitting down there and you're trying to push through your technique, trying to just do the things that you have been told to do, it won't work for long, because it's kind of like meditation becomes a means to an end. You're just doing it so you can get somewhere else. So the meditation itself has very little importance in your mind. You don't consider the practice itself as being valuable and important, because the practice only seems to be that thing that is supposed to get you somewhere else. So it in itself loses value in that way. In order to overcome that, you need to find the value within that moment as you practice right now, right here. And the way to do that is by paying attention to what is joyful, what is nice. What do you appreciate instead of what you don't like? So for most of us, we come to the practice and other kinds of stuff in our lives with this perspective of what we do not like. Maybe sometimes even going to places or doing certain things to find out what's wrong about it, rather than actually going because you enjoy. You may want to prove someone wrong, or you just have this tendency to look around and find what doesn't work out, what disturbs you, what annoys you. And fair enough, that's a part of the survival mechanism, I guess. So we need to be aware of danger. But that can quickly get out of hand. When you become too aware of danger and you're all the time aware of potential dangers, you can't enjoy life anymore. It becomes impossible to have a good time. So train yourself to access that which you really want during your meditation. So you're going through the practice, you're going through the technique, say, stage 1. And your task is to breathe in and feel your legs and breathe out and release your legs. How can you make it so that it feels really nice doing that? You got to find that out. And the secret to it really is that you start with little tiny increments of nice. Just a little bit better. Not trying to make it feel absolutely mind-blowingly awesome, but just a little bit better. And then that's your direction. That's the orientation of your practice. So as I release my legs, I don't try to perfectly release them. Instead, I just let go of a little more tension, just a little more. And as I do that, it feels a little bit better. And I need to train my mind to notice that, because by nature, my mind doesn't notice such things. It's like, that's way too little. That's like nothing. It's hardly improved at all. Why would I pay attention to it? Why would I enjoy it? What's so enjoyable about it? My leg is still full of tension. I still see the fault. It's still 99% faulty in my mind. I don't care that it just got a 1% better. So I need to train myself to see, it just got 1% better. And that's good. That's a nice thing. I'm on track. I'm going in the right direction. I'm staying oriented. As long as I'm staying oriented, I'm moving to where I want to be. And as I move there, it progressively gets better and better, nicer and nicer. That's how meditation practice will give you exactly what you're looking for. You start where you're at. Is there any place in your body right now, if you direct your attention inward and you feel your own body, is there any place in your body right now that feels quite okay? That's relatively pain-free. Now, we're not really used to it very often, to actually scan our body for what's okay, because we're so used to scanning our body for what's not okay. Like, there's a bit of pain in my knees, there's a bit of pain in my lower back. That's loud. I immediately notice it. Whereas all the many parts that actually feel okay, they don't pull my attention at all. I barely notice them. So the training is to start noticing that. That feels good. For example, there is a slight comfort around my left shoulder. And that sense of comfort kind of spreads around my left shoulder and then down my left arm. And it's kind of outside of my arm. And so then I could breathe into that area. And as I breathe out, I relax into that field of comfort. And so it expands a little. It gets a little more. Feels a little better even. If you do that with places that are painful, then you notice a decrease in pain. It's not as loud, as sharp, as piercing anymore if you soften around it. Ever so slightly. And that tells you right now you're on track. You're doing the right thing. Remember the Four Noble Truths. The Buddha teaches, or all the teachings of the Buddha could be really, that they're based on those Four Noble Truths. Here's the Noble Truth of suffering. There is stress. There is a cause of stress, which is craving. That's the second Noble Truth. And there is the ending of stress. The path to nirvana is the fourth Noble Truth, the path to the ending of stress. And all those Four Noble Truths can be practiced right here, right now, in this moment. So you scan your presence, your being. Where am I holding, craving, clinging, grasping? And as I breathe out, can I release just a little? And every time you do, it gets a little better. And when you follow that track, time will become irrelevant. It doesn't matter anymore how long you sit, because it's nice. Like any activity in our life, as long as it's really nice, as long as you're enjoying it, well, there is really no point in measuring the time of it. When you go to a beautiful, nice restaurant and you eat your favorite dish there, are you timing the dinner? Is it like, okay, I finished the dish in 20 minutes this time. I'm trying to extend it to 30. Like, it would be ridiculous doing that because we don't time things that we enjoy. I imagine timing things that we enjoy, timing sex, timing good food, timing anything that is pleasurable becomes absurd because it's nice. You don't need time for it. In fact, it is also nice because in that moment you don't need any time. So it goes both ways. It's nice because it's timeless, and it's timeless because it's nice. The nicer it gets, the less you need time. And so you may find yourself getting into your meditation and really following this sense of comfort while you're following the structure of the practice, seeking out this comfort and sinking into it, releasing into it, enjoying it, paying attention to the joy, noticing it, putting it into the center of your practice. And suddenly the bell rings. And you're like, what? I just had this really good time. I could keep going. And the better you get, the more astonishing this becomes, actually. You can have a session lasting an hour. You put the timer onto 1 hour and you enjoy yourself profoundly, and you just start your practice and you sink into that joyful state, and all of a sudden the timer goes off and it feels like you just did 5 minutes. And you can't even believe it. You look at the timer and it's like, yeah, indeed, an hour has passed, and you could still not believe it. You have to check your watch. Actually, an hour has passed. Sometimes it's really unbelievable how your perception of time is relative to your experience of joy. So our perception of time is relative to the experience of release. Release equals joy. Every time you let go a little, there's a little more joy. In fact, I define happiness as the absence of suffering. The more you let go of suffering, the happier you become. Happiness is that which stands revealed when you let go of suffering, of stress. Happiness is that which is left over. The more you let go, the happier you find yourself to be. It's like it's your nature. Imagine you would wear 50 layers of clothes. And you're like looking like a balloon in your 50 layers of clothes. And you're kind of born like this, and you walk through life like this. So you're kind of used to this way of living, of wearing 50 layers of clothes. And you don't even feel restricted, because that's all you know, those 50 layers of clothes. And meditation means taking those layers off one by one. And the more you take them off, the lighter you feel. The more fresh you start to feel. Like all of a sudden your skin can breathe. And you can move your limbs. You could never move them before. So that's the result of taking off your many layers of clothes. It's not that happiness needs to be added on to you, that joy is an add-on, an app, something that you need to install and that you need to find and that you need to possess and own. Joy is already there. It's just blocked by 50 layers of clothes. And so you gotta get naked in a way. Meditation is that process of getting naked. You let go of all those layers of stress and tension that feel so natural to you that you don't even notice them as stress or tension. Sometimes if someone were to come to you and says, "You're so stressed," you might say, like, "What do you mean? I'm not stressed at all. I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying myself." You don't even know how stressed you are because you have nothing to compare your state with. Like if I were to snap my finger and all of your stress would all of a sudden be gone, it'd be so amazing you would want to do nothing else for the rest of your life. You'd become a junkie of meditation. You would become addicted to it immediately. It's so powerful. And that's one of the addictions that's perfectly fine. There's so many addictions that we have that are not fine because they ruin us, right? But meditation is an exception there. So the more you do it, the better. The better for yourself, the better for others. Because the more sober you become, the less you carry around your 50 layers of clothes. You don't want to be that person that walks around in the world carrying stress everywhere they go. And it doesn't matter how much you think you have let go of your stress. There's plenty left. We need to work on that. It's easy and comfortable also to delude ourselves. To think, oh, no, I'm quite fine. I'm quite happy. I'm quite good. Some people even become defensive if you tell them, like, you're experiencing suffering. It's like, who are you to tell me what I'm experiencing? It's a fact. It's a simple truth. We are burdened by ourselves, by our minds, by our bodies. That's why we enjoy going to sleep. Because then you don't have to deal with your mind and your body for a while. And that's nice. We kind of like getting away from our bodies and our minds. Like digging yourself into your phone. What is that? It's an escape from your body and your mind. For a moment, you don't have to pay attention to yourself. Why would I need to do that if I'm so much at ease with myself? I wouldn't have to escape. If I would feel that I'm a wellspring of pleasure and happiness where it just keeps bubbling out of I wouldn't need to do all these things that most of us do all the time, distracting us. As I wouldn't have to be distracted at all. I wouldn't even have to move my body much because it's super comfortable. And it would be such that time is completely eliminated from my perception. It plays absolutely no role. Time only plays a role when you suffer and you want that suffering to end and you think that it will end within time. But suffering doesn't end within time. It ends outside of time. When your perception of time drops, that's where suffering ends. The whole practice of meditation is such that you need to go beyond time as fast as you can. So in the beginning, when you start with your practice, you need to use the momentum that you have, and you're still time bound. While you're still time bound, you need to use that little moments to get yourself beyond of time. And you do that by finding joy, finding pleasure. The more this fills you up, the less you need time. If you let go without having something to let go into, like joy and happiness, then that's a primary cause of mental illness that arises for practitioners. Meaning you don't have an experience of bliss in your body and your mind, and you're just engaging high-minded stuff like emptiness, not self, the nirvana, and all is consciousness, all is mind, everything is energy, and you start engaging these things just from the viewpoint of concepts. And the intellect can delude you into actually thinking you experience the real deal. Such people are the ones that lose their mind on long-term retreats. They go into some cave and they come out and they're full of crazy concepts. They can't orient themselves in the world anymore because they didn't have anything to let go into. That's the reason why we need to cultivate meditation first. You need to have something to let go into. That means you need to have such a solid mind that you're able to provide happiness and bliss to yourself. And then you let go of time naturally. Simply no more interest in it. It's done its job. You don't need it anymore. Like you're full, you've just eaten. You lose interest in another dish. You're full. Why would you need to eat more? It's like that. So the more relaxed and more happy you become in your meditation, the less you need anything else. There's no more need, therefore no more craving. It's the ending of craving, at least temporarily. Deep meditation is temporary nirvana, temporary enlightenment. It lasts for a short time, and then the old habits come back. And so you want to use that kind of meditative state to get to know yourself on that deep level. And you're well grounded and well protected by bliss, by happiness. That's the element that makes you fearless. There's nothing to be afraid of if you're in bliss. So that's the primary thing that I would recommend to anyone that struggles with that problem. How do I make my meditation session longer? Make your happiness deeper. And the question is, how do I do that? What do I need to do in this moment with this breath to find a little bit more happiness, a little bit less holding, a little bit less stress? That's nice. That's enjoyable. And breathing out, let go even a little bit more. So good. Like that. You just keep going that way. So do the practice right. It's not just some method to get it done and then you can go back to your day-to-day life. You need to do it properly. Find that joy. Appreciate it. Another way to find that joy is through gratitude, like focusing on what is good, on what you enjoy. Saying thank you even for the difficult experiences completely turns everything around. If you have a difficult experience in your life and you say thank you for that, your mind now wants to look for what's so nice about this. And you all of a sudden are forced to find reasons why this experience is actually good, because you already started off with thank you. So now you need to fill in the blanks. So why do I say thank you about that? Now you have to find a reason for it. And you will find one guaranteed. Why can I be thankful for this experience? Thankful for the pain in my legs. Thank you for this painful experience in my legs. Thank you for putting pressure onto me, making me feel like I want to end this practice right now. I know I perhaps could keep it up and maybe go up to the 30-minute mark, but nah, I don't want to. Thank you for that experience. That's a valuable experience. Why would it be valuable? Now you need to find an answer to that. Why is the experience of being put under pressure valuable? What could be the answer to that? I'm definitely under pressure. It's the 20-minute mark. Like sitting as Margarita does. You sit there and the 20-minute mark comes and you suddenly feel pressure. Why could that be valuable? I know why it is for me, and so I embrace it. I actually like it, being under pressure when I practice, because that's where I get the most results. If I can bring that peace and that joy into that pressure, I grow really fast. It's like a fast forward way of stimulating growth within your practice. As soon as you're put under pressure, you really have to make effort to integrate and embody the newfound understanding that you can make yourself happy. For the first 20 minutes, yeah, fine, I can make myself happy. And all of a sudden the pressure is on, asking you, really? Can you make yourself happy? Let's put that to the test. For the last 10 minutes, I'll give you some pressure. Thank you for that pressure. I'm going to transform it into the path. This is how I make it through difficult times in my practice. So the pressure is on. Good. Fantastic. Now that's an opportunity to get extra bonus points in my practice. Deeper insights, the real good stuff, happens only in that region when I'm challenged. There is true growth in that. As long as everything's nice, the birds are chirping, sun is shining, slight breeze. I feel so good. I don't grow much in my meditation because everything's just okay and nice. But the moment something is pushing into me, now I start to grow. And I know that. And I train myself to continuously remind myself for that. Oh, that moment here, now there's pressure. That's a precious moment. That's an important moment. Like everything inside of me doesn't want to do the practice. I just want to stop. Fantastic. Why is that the case? Why do I want to escape all of a sudden? Maybe something important wants to come up to the surface. Something that I would never see if I were to stop right now. And something that's underneath the surface that I would need to let go of so I can be much more happy. But no, As soon as it comes a little bit closer, I stop the practice. And then it goes right back into the depths of my subconscious, going back to sleep for another day or two. You want to let go of these shadows, these deep kind of things that make you so uneasy, and you want to bring ease and relaxation, happiness into that. That's how you grow your confidence. That's how you can truly see that meditation actually works. You cannot see it if you only do it when it's nice. And that's the problem that most beginners, to be honest, they face exactly that problem. We only do it when we like to do it. And we only do it for as long as it feels okay. And then we stop, thereby comfortably keeping ourselves from actually growing, while at the same time giving you the illusion that you're a very spiritual person. That's very comfortable. I get the benefit of both. I can feel very spiritual about myself because I'm doing meditation. But something is uncomfortable because I know I don't do the real job. I avoid it. I run away as soon as it gets real. I'm unable to bring peace into difficulty. That's how I remind myself. Well, so when difficulty comes up, I'm like, wow, that's my opportunity to bring peace into a level that I otherwise would not have the possibility to engage. Normally, in my normal everyday life, I'm not challenged like that, because I anyways tend to do only things that I want to do. But right now, that's the chance. Yeah, so these are all little reflections that you can integrate into your practice. I'd highly encourage you to keep going, but make sure that you bring release, relaxation, and softness into these challenging last 10 minutes. Until 30 minutes become your new standard. And 30 minutes have now become relaxing and easy and comfy for you. And 35 minutes are daunting. 40 minutes are daunting. That's how meditation changes your nervous system, changes your physical response to discomfort, so that you're able to relax even when things really go bad in your life and really go wrong. And trust me, they will. Doesn't get better the older we get. Here's another little reflection, a little bonus reflection at the end of this talk. As we get older, life gets more difficult. You will lose more and more things that are close to you, that are dear to you, that are important to you. As your age progresses and you're moving towards death, the ultimate challenge to relax. And instead, most people spend that time avoiding their fear, avoiding their dread, avoiding the difficulty that's ahead by just distracting ourselves. But then that doesn't make the difficulties go away. They will still come, but you will be unprepared for them. So it's a fantastic opportunity to prepare. One more reason to say thank you for that difficult 10 minutes. How else would I be able to feel a sense of self-respect if I wouldn't go into those difficult moments and spread light into them, bring peace into them, doing the real work? Yeah, so that's all I think for this topic. It's a good topic, and there's always, as always, there's so much to be said about it, but I don't want to just keep going on ad infinitum. So that's all that comes to mind for that one. We hope you enjoyed this episode and had a meaningful time. For more information and upcoming events, head over to our website at phuket-meditation.com. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.